Alright, hello there. I think I just took the Yeti off of mute, so give me a big thumbs up if you guys can hear me. -2. Oh my goodness. Too cold for me. Right now it's in the 50s and I have my my hoodie on. You know, you live in Florida for 18 years, your blood starts to get thin, I guess. Oh, now you can see me? Okay, yeah, but it's some of the most compelling stuff on the internet, Aunt Cecilia, let me tell you. You know, there's nothing like Duff's PEV live stream to put a little pep in your step. Just ask Cindy. Yeah, Elsa's actually, she's stretched out over here. Sadie is underneath my desk right now, taking up most of my foot space. So, all right. So, can you guys hear me, Aunt Cecilia? I'm assuming you can hear me. You should be able to, but I can never tell 100% until someone says yes, I can hear you. Okay, lawn chair aviator can hear me. Good. Glad to hear it. I didn't put a lot of I give myself a lot of lead time here. I've been working on projects during the day, and then I was watching a little bit of the Chiefs-Patriots game, and I'm also uploading my video from today, which I'll be talking about in a little bit. So welcome to episode 16. It's hard to believe. I've been doing these every other week, and we're up to the 16th episode. So yeah. It's hard to believe that there's been that many shows already, but there is. So, just a reminder in the front of the show. Usually I mention this at the end of the show, but it might be better to mention this at the beginning. If you don't have a chance to participate in the live stream, or maybe it's hard for you to tune in this time of the weekend, you always have the option of downloading and listening to the broadcast on podcast format. Usually the day after the live stream, I will be uploading it, and it'll show up on your feed in iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify. So check it out. It usually translates pretty well to a podcast, so it's you can take the show with you. You know, not a lot of people can sit here and just watch for an hour and a half. You know, a few people can, but not a lot. So that is another way to digest the show. All right, so how's everybody doing today? I'm assuming it's cold. Most people that are watching me are probably quite cold. Like I said, it's kind of cold for Florida right now. It's in the 50s, and it's supposed to get into the low 40s actually tonight. So that's mighty cold for us Floridians. And it was weird this morning, like early in the morning, we actually had a thunderstorm, which is very unusual for January to have a thunderstorm, but there was a brief thunderstorm that rolled by probably about 6 in the morning, and then that is what started the cold front. It sort of stayed in the 60s all day, very, very windy, but that's nothing compared to up north. I know Aunt Cecilia just was telling Cindy how cold it is, and I think you said it's supposed to get down to -2? Oh, it's -2 now? And you live in Illinois, right? Wow, that is. I remember -2, you know, from my decades of living in Pennsylvania. And actually, a few times I visited my dad, who lives in northwestern Pennsylvania. We've had temperatures 0 or below 0 when I was there, and it's different. It's physically painful to pull air that's cold into your lungs, and it instantly burns your face and any exposed skin. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm in Florida now. Yeah. All right, so let's move this over here. Well, no, let's leave that there so I can see the chat. And let's see. Do I need to? Let's see. I don't need that right now. Okay. So it's 6 right now. Okay. Oh, Cliff, so you're in Tampa? Windy in 50s? Yeah. It was very windy today. I went out for a ride about 4 o'clock for a brief ride, and it was like 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts, and that was not a good time at all. Justin says it's 14 in Columbia, Missouri. Lovely. And 18 inches of snow in the ground in Illinois. Wow. Don't miss it. I do not miss it at all. So Lawn Chair Aviator says it's low 50s in Colorado. Really? I thought that Arctic air encompassed Colorado, but maybe it's past there. Maybe the jet stream is past Colorado at this point. That's surprisingly warm. So Brett Holtzman says he just got his JBL speaker thanks to Chooch, the Flip 4. You can multitask and hear you through the house. Okay, well that's good. Very cool. So you have it connected to your phone, obviously, and you can just walk around and hear it. That's cool. Yeah, I saw Marty talking about that, I guess, as well. Or he commented on Chooch's recommendation for that speaker, because I guess Marty actually has a speaker that Chooch recommended a year or so ago, and he really likes that. But it sounded like Chooch really likes that new speaker as well. I did not see that video, but I saw the thumbnail and read the description. Okay. So anyways, I alluded in the beginning of the broadcast that I've spent a good portion of the day today, actually the good portion of the last 3 days, doing various projects. The first 2 days were outdoor projects, non-technical projects, doing stuff like spreading 65 bags of mulch around the property, doing some work in the chicken area. Yesterday I spent all afternoon repainting the roof on the chicken coop. That was a very tedious process. But today was more technical stuff. I tried to do 2 repairs to 2 of my 3D printers, and that went very badly. Did not work as I hoped. But then early this afternoon, I decided to finally tackle working on the loose axle nuts on my original M Super V3. I noticed that when I was riding it, it kind of felt like I was on a teeter-totter a little bit. You know, I'd be up and balancing the pedals, but there was slop back and forth, and that's been going on for several months. And to be honest, you know, I don't ride the M Super V3 all that much anymore. Usually, when I'm riding, it's one of my other wheels, you know, the 18XL, the Monster, or the M10 III. So I didn't really want to deal with it, but I decided to finally deal with it. You know, I had this time off. I wanted to get the project handled. So that's what I did. It took, let's see, how much time did I spend on that? Probably altogether, maybe 3 hours start to finish. I did once before rip my M Super apart to replace the case. You know, when you replace the case, obviously you have to take everything out and put everything back in, because my old case was all banged up when I was learning to ride backwards. My case got all kinds of screwed up. So I was familiar with taking it all the way apart. It was last year sometime I did that, early last year, I think, so it's been a while. But yeah, I got it done. I'm actually uploading the video right now. The nuts were definitely loose. The wheel has something like 800 miles on it, a little bit more than 800 miles on it. And my commentary during the video, one of the things was I was just frustrated. It's frustrating to me that Gotway uses a design for their axles and their pedal hangers that has a tendency to come loose over time, over use, with use, and it just seems ridiculous to me that the only way to remedy it is to tear it down to the bare wheel. And as you'll see in the video, and if you've ever seen anyone tighten axle nuts before, you got to take the thing 100% apart to fix this. And it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. And I know KingSong has a much better design that never has this problem. So it's just another feather in the cap of KingSong as far as I'm concerned. But the bottom line is I did get them tightened. The one side definitely had more play than the other. The side that doesn't have the motor wires coming out, I could probably get about 1/8 of a turn on it with the wrench, and maybe, I don't know, 1/10 of a turn on the other side. But when I took it back out afterwards, it definitely felt better. I didn't feel the same teeter-totterish feeling when riding it. And while I had it apart, I also did slime the tire or the tube on my M Super successfully for the first time ever. Last year again, I tried to I tried to slime my M Super because it has a slow leak. It would lose air over time, and I didn't research the procedure, so I thought, okay, well, I got this slime. I got pressurized slime, and I'm like, okay, well, I could just jam it on the valve and squeeze it, and I guess that'll put slime in there. And little did I know that that is not the way you do it at all. You have to take out the valve core in order to put slime in correctly. So, you know, what I did before had absolutely no benefit whatsoever. So today I actually did it correctly. I had my valve stem tool, took out the valve core, put about 8 ounces of slime in the tire, put it back together, and now hopefully I will be good to go, at least as far as small punctures in the tire goes, and I'm hoping that that slow leak problem that I had will be fixed. So anyways, I documented the whole thing, and you know, as usual, there's some bonehead things I did along the way, which is normal for me. Wait till you see some of the 3D printer videos. Talk about bonehead things that I did. Oh my god, just it's amazing sometimes. But anyways, that is uploading now, and it'll probably publish before I go to bed tonight, I believe. So Brett says that you prefer to eat chickens and maintain them. Oh, Brett. That's okay. Most people are like that. I actually, I'm a pescatarian. I don't know if I've ever said that in video before or not. Maybe I have. Which means that the only meat that I consume is seafood. You know, I eat shrimp, fish, stuff like that. I stopped eating beef, pork, poultry probably 6 years ago at this point. It was actually when I got separated from my second wife. Is when I stopped.
7 years.
Oh, 7 years?
Yeah, because we've been together 6 years.
Okay. Cindy, do you say hi or not?
Did I say hi?
Well, no, I'm just. Do you officially say hi, or you just?
I will.
Okay.
Covered in string.
No, Cindy is covered in string. Cindy's latest hobby is macrame, and she's macrameing in there. But she's been on like a hobby kick lately. She's doing all kinds of stuff. Go ahead. Here comes Sadie. She's painting 3D models. She's doing macrame. She's doing paper mache. All kinds of stuff. She's going crazy with her crafts, but she enjoys it. So, anyways, like I was saying, I'm a pescatarian. Don't consume most regular meat products, and mine. Although I do think that there are some health benefits to that. It's more about just I'm very compassionate to animals. You know, almost to the extreme, some people may say. But yeah, I saw and read lots of stuff about animal cruelty, and like if you've ever seen the are you in?
Where's the camera?
What's it? Oh, there you are. That's Cindy's paper mache. Do you want to say what that actually is?
It's just a cactus piñata. And
right.
then... Oh.
There's some of her macrame.
Aww.
Yes. And what's the other thing you have there?
I'm working on this one now. I have no idea
that
what I'm
is
gonna
macrame.
do. I'm going to do something with it.
Oh, I wanted to mention your video video today too, right?
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, one of our other things is painting my 3D prints. Like this is a little cactus model that I found. Look how realistic that looks.
From that?
It's just a 3D print.
So
and
easy.
yeah, it looks awesome, and it takes like an hour to print each one. So
it takes 5 minutes to paint, not
5 minutes to paint.
2
yes.
minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Very cool.
It's my therapy.
No, Aunt Cecilia says hi, by the way. Okay.
Warm hug.
Yeah.
I'm stepping on my stuff.
All right. So, anyways, yeah, I'm a pescatarian. So Brett says that I should have thread locked the nuts or put super glue in the threads. Well, yeah, I could have super glued it, I guess, but I mean to thread lock it, I would have had to back it all the way off, which I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I mean, if it would come loose again in short order, then I would go to the degree of putting red thread locker on there, I guess. I'm hoping it will be good to go for a while. especially considering the M Super doesn't get tons and tons of riding time. So we'll see. We'll see how it is now that I've ripped it apart and done it for the second time. The third time will be progressively easier, and yeah, so if it needs it, I'll do it. All right, Clifford says, I recently just purchased the Z10 and wheel maintenance has been on my mind. Not looking forward to when I have to tear down the wheel for repairs. Well, Cliff, if you do have to tear it down, Chris Yim, when he had the Z10 way back when it was going around as a demo, he has a good video on his channel. His channel on YouTube is called House of Job, spelled J-O-B. And he has a good Z10 teardown video. That being said, I mean, typically you should not have to tear into your wheel. I don't believe that the axle nut design on a Z10 will have the same looseness issues that a Gotway does. It's a better design. The only thing that could be a gotcha with a Z10 is if you get a flat, obviously. And for that, I would definitely consider putting slime in there, because that could save you from having to go through the hassle of doing a tire repair if it's just a small puncture. I know Marty had successfully put slime in his Z10. It's a little challenging because of the way that the stem is in the Z10, how it's recessed. There's like a hole in the shell that you spin the tire around until the valve is exposed. So I don't think it's the easiest thing in the world to get slime in there, but it can be done because I know Marty has done it. So that's really the only preventative thing that I would recommend that you do. Otherwise, I mean, it should work. I mean, normally when an EUC fails, most of the time it's going to be a tire or tube issue. So, knock on wood that you can avoid that. Justin, you have 7 chickens. 7 chickens, including the rooster. Oh, nice, Justin. Cool. All of ours are hens. We currently have 5 adult hens. Well, we hope they're all hens, I should say. We have 5 adult hens. Those are hens, but we also been raising 6 baby chicks for the last 3 months, a little bit more than 3 months. They're supposed to all be hens, but you never know. We've had problems in the past where we were told that baby chicks were hens and they turned out to be roosters, and when they were roosters we gave them away, because we're not interested in having more baby chicks. And roosters can be overly aggressive and all that kind of stuff, so we gave them to somebody that supposedly were going to give them a good home and stuff. We didn't want to give them to someone that was just going to kill them or whatever. So we're hoping that our 6 baby chicks, even though they're not very small anymore, we're hoping they're all hens. But one in particular seems overly aggressive, so I'm wondering, or I'm hoping that she is not a he, but it's always a possibility. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it when they sex these baby chicks that it's a very high probability of accuracy. I'm not quite sure how they do it, but they get it wrong quite a bit. All right. Justin says the Z10 comes apart easy. Really, it's not bad. Yeah, but I remember from watching Chris's video. It didn't seem that bad. I don't think it's any worse than what I went through today, and I'm sure it's the assembly is better. The assembly process is better, higher quality than the Gotway. So, Frost Element, that's a new name. I don't believe I've seen you in one of these streams before. Hello from Los Angeles. Fantastic co-host. Oh, hello, fantastic co-host. Yeah, welcome. I know Marty posted a video from yesterday saying how nice the weather was in Southern California yesterday. I think it was in the mid-70s. Although, did you see he was riding around with just wrist guards? I was kind of surprised. I thought with that kind of riding he would be wearing more than that, but he was just wrist guarding it. So that's fine, I guess. All right, Brett Holtzman, check out Impossible Burger YouTube. I actually am familiar with Impossible Burger. I saw, where did I see it on? I saw something something on the internet about Impossible Burger, and it actually made me look for places in Naples that sell Impossible Burgers, and there are a couple. Actually, there's a couple of restaurants or bars or whatever that do sell them, and I've seen pictures of them. It looks crazy. Of course, I have had the other burger substitutes. I've had like a quinoa different stuff mixed in with the burger. I've had this conventional soy fake burgers, which I'm not a real huge fan of. I've had the ones that have like mushrooms in it. So yeah, there's lots of meat substitutes that really don't. They're fine. It's surprising when I stopped eating that kind of meat. I thought that maybe it would be harder than it was, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't go crazy yearning for red meat, even though I did always like it. And I grew up on burgers, conventional burgers and stuff, but taking it out of my diet wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it would be.
And I'm a good cook, right?
What's that?
Am I a good cook?
Yeah, you're a good cook, of course. Okay, so Justin, the slime cap is the tool that takes the valve core out. I taped it. Oh, I taped it. Took the core out that way. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Justin. Actually, that is correct. That you can use the cap on the slime to take it out. But I actually bought a valve tool that was made by Slime. Actually, it was the valve tool and 4 replacement valves. Which I actually put a fresh valve in the M Super today, just because I had 4 of them, so I put a fresh valve in there. So yeah, it wasn't hard. Again, sometimes I have a tendency to go ahead and do something without adequately researching it first, and that actually is another situation that happened with my one 3D printer problem. I made an assumption which was incorrect, and I managed to mess it up in the process. So. Okay, so Justin says, I raised 6 chickens that hatched last summer. All but 2 were roosters, and I had to rehome them. Yeah. Yeah, roosters are, especially multiple roosters kept together. I think the formula I heard is like 1 rooster for every 10 hens, something like that. But yeah, I'm just don't need to mess with roosters, even though I'm sure they're fine, but we don't need that complication. Yeah, Justin, I figured you didn't mean lactate. You must be doing voice to text or something, maybe. Justin says most of the tools that I've used will not reach far enough to the case to take out the valve stem. I see what you mean. Well, yeah, and in the case of a Z10, that would probably be the case as well because of the way that it's recessed. I don't think that tool that I use today would be able to get out the valve core in a Z10. You would have to probably do something like you described. That's a good point. Okay, so let me go back to my show notes. So I mentioned Marty earlier. I saw Marty put out a video this week, I'm not sure how many days ago. He was doing the extended testing on the 18XL. He's had it now for, 3 weeks, something like that. I'm not quite sure. But I think I mentioned in the last stream how it was interesting. He did a range test with the 18XL versus his M Super X, which has a very similar battery pack size, and the 18XL did significantly better than the MSX in range. So to see if it was a fluke or not, I guess he did the same thing running the 18XL against his M Super V3S that has a 1600 watt hour battery. And again, the 18XL outperformed the M Super X, the M Super V3S. And it seems like Marty's estimation was that he was getting approximately 10% more range out of the 18XL, so that's pretty significant. I believe he said that he's gone over 60 miles twice now on his 18XL. So that's very interesting that KingSong does they have the formula worked out that they're able to squeeze significantly more mileage out of a similar size pack as compared to Gotway. So that was very, very cool. I also did see that Marty mentioned something about he had to send the 18XL on. I didn't have the time to go on the electric unicycle forums at all to research that more. I was curious what happened as far as if eWheels said that they needed it back or what was going on, because I did see that he mentioned that he's going to be getting one. I'm not sure if he's getting a new one, what the deal is, but he is getting an 18XL according to his latest video, and that will officially break his edict of no new wheels for a while. So, but plus he wants a Nikola, so yeah, he might be getting 2 wheels. So if anyone knows why he had to send the 18XL on, feel free to chime in the chat, because I do not know. Okay. Cliff, you're welcome. Brett asks, when you did the 1,000 pull-ups, were you eating real meat? No. No, I had already went pescatarian when I did the 1,000 pull-ups. Which, if you looked at that was actually spread over multiple videos. Obviously, I didn't do 1,000 pull-ups at once. It was just 1,000 total pull-ups over. I'm not sure how many videos I actually did it over, but yeah, I was already a pescatarian at that point. Like back in my mid-40s, early to mid-40s, I was really, really hardcore into calisthenics. I was doing almost nothing but calisthenics. I stopped doing weight work, and I was doing lots and lots of calisthenics. I probably weighed in the low 170s. It's pretty thin. I was doing a lot of running then as well, and the combination of heavy calisthenics and running, I was strong for my weight, but I was very, very thin too. But it helped my running. I run better if I weigh less, because right now I'm about 185-ish. So. Hey there. Oh, William. Hi, William. How you doing? So I got your message about the monster. Sounds like you're liking the monster. I was curious how tough it was for you to ride it at first, because I know when I first got my monster, it felt like I didn't know how to ride a wheel. So hopefully you are liking your monster. Stream to the the Chromecast. Okay. Yeah, Justin, I never had it. I was always considering getting a Chromecast, and I never did. Seems cool. Though I have LG TVs, which I think they have some capability to stream with their native software, but I've never messed with it. I've never really had the real need to stream from my phone or tablet to the TV, because usually everything that I watch on the TV I can already get through the native smart apps or through my cable box or whatever. Okay, Aunt Cecilia. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry about the Saints again. Aunt Cecilia, that's Cindy's aunt, and she's a big Saints fan. And unfortunately, the Saints lost in overtime. I was watching a little bit of the Kansas City New England game. I'm just curious what the score is now. I saw Tom Brady throw an interception in the end zone, which is very un-Tom Brady-ish. Okay, so it's 14-7 in the third right now. All right, so Kansas City's hanging in there. That's good. And I am surprised that the Rams won that game. I did not expect the Rams to be going to the Super Bowl this year, but yeah, good for them. Good for them. All right, so William says, yes. William is talking about, just to back up, William just got a Gotway Monster in the last couple weeks, so. Oh, and he's waiting for EUC guy to have more mudguards, yeah. I have his new style mudguard on my Monster, which is basically a clamp with a cork flap. And I believe that Matthias has been working hard on getting more of his power pads out. And he's also been doing all kinds of stuff with designs for the Monster. Since he now has a 2400 watt-hour Monster, he's doing special lights, special electronics, and he's also working on the power pad for the Monster, which I'm sure is going to be something that's going to be well received by the community, because if there's one thing that is hard for the monster to do is accelerate quickly because of its size. So those power pads that he's making, I can see them really being advantageous on the monster. So there's a good chance that I might get a set for mine as well, just to try them out, because the monster does tons of things well, but accelerating hard is not easy unless you're going to squeeze the hell out of it with your legs and really lean. So I think those new pads will be a good thing. But my point is, that's why he probably doesn't have any mud guards right now, because he's busy cranking out that stuff. Justin. All right, Justin says, he saw a video on Facebook the other day where someone had shortened the mud guard on the Z10, maybe because they broke it. It actually looked pretty neat. It exposed the tire and lights from the back. Yeah, the Z10, I did not see that video, but the Z10 mud guard works great, but it is big. It's probably, I don't know, that long. And it does cover a good portion of the tire. So, yeah, I guess that'd be, well, I'm just trying to think. The way that it attached, there were some screws down low on the sides, I believe. So, yeah, but there also is, I think, 2 screws up top. So that's really probably all you need to hold the mudguard in. So, yeah, I'm sure it could get by with a shorter mudguard. Speaking of mudguards, I've actually been working on my version of the 18XL mudguard. I had Matthias help me out. When I had the 18XL, I took pictures of it from multiple angles, and then Matthias was able to import it into 3D modeling software for me, get the images in there, and then I can actually go in there and use those images to more or less outline the perimeters of the mudguard and design something similar. I did a hard PLA version of it that looked pretty good, but my goal is to ultimately do it in TPU, which is a flexible filament, so it wouldn't have the same issues with breaking that a hard 3D printed mudguard does. You know, if you drop it and it hits a mudguard, it's going to more than likely break if it's 3D printed in hard plastic. So I'm hoping I can do it in TPU and have it look decent. I do still have 3 days off in my extended weekends, so maybe that's one of the things I can try to do during those 3 days. We'll see. But it'd be cool if it worked. And I think there'd be a demand, because the 18XL mudguard is way cooler looking than the one that's on the 18L. The 18L mudguard is just a flap, a loose flap that some people say looks like a part of a male's anatomy. Let's just put it that way. So it doesn't look great. It does work, but it doesn't look great. So it'd be cool if I could get this to work. We'll see. Okay, Justin, we're again talking about the mudguard. Oh yeah, it wouldn't for someone like Matthias, printing something like that would be very easy. But the thing is you either need to have the wheel physically in front of you, or you need someone to take very accurate measurements and pictures so it can be modeled. It's otherwise it's very difficult to do. So, and since I don't have a Z10 anymore, and Matthias doesn't have one, it would probably be tough. But it could be done. And anything like that, you can definitely 3D design and print something like that. Absolutely. Oh, so Cliff, you only have the screws attached on the top of your Z10? Yeah. Well, because like if I remember correctly, like on the side, there's like almost like there's screws that you take out if you want to put the mudguard in. Then you take the screws out and you slide the mudguard in and you put those screws back in, if I remember correctly, I think. But like you said, if you have the 2 top ones in, it's not like it's going to go anywhere. So very cool. All right. So now speaking about mods to wheels, one of the things yeah. Brett says, my mudguard is not for riding in mud or water. These are not dirt bikes. I do enjoy watching others do the dirty work. Yeah. I don't ride in mud really either. Someone like Ian Ian rides a mud all the time, so he really could use a mud guard. My big thing is water. Yeah, like if I run through water, it'd be nice to keep the water off me, but I rarely ride in the rain or in wet conditions either, to be honest with you. So one thing I wanted to mention, one of the videos I saw this week, some guy that, I'm just getting it set up here, some guy that paid to have custom made huge pedals CNC'd for his Gotway wheel. Let's see if a Monster or an M Super, I don't remember. Okay, let me just see if I can get it up here. Just give me a second. Oops, that is not it. Alright, let's try this again. Damn it. Wrong. Okay, one more time. There we go.
Hello YouTube. This is my Gotway gyro stabilized electric unicycle. It's great. The pedals fold down.
Okay, so let's give proper attribution. This is Alien Rides. I've seen, I think he posts on the forums as well. But basically, he has it looks like an M Super X, and he had like monster pedals that they look even bigger than what's on an 18XL. He had them made, custom made for his M Super. And let's.
They're much stronger magnets. It'll help hold the pedal when it's up, I guess. Probably this magnet is not strong enough to do it. So let's go ahead and open up and put these magnets in.
Trying to see where he compares the old pedal to the new. Okay, right there's the back of them. Yeah, they definitely even look bigger than the 18XL pedal. Yeah, I can't see it.
It's Super Sport. I'm just a little bit worried that since these are so big, it's gonna scratch very easily, and more of it comes in contact with the ground before it cuts up.
All right, there you go. Now you can see a good look at the size of those things. Those are huge. Like I said, they look even bigger than the 18XL pedals. But I believe I asked him in the comments what he paid for those, and I think it was either $300 or $400, no, maybe $300. I think it was $300 to have those made. So yeah, not very practical for most people. But I guess he said in the video that he wanted to get it out there to, I guess, maybe inspire Gotway to think about putting bigger pedals on their wheels, just like KingSong has started to do with the 18XL. I guess this guy has big feet like me. He has size 13s as I do, and he said that he rides it a little bit later here. Or that's one of his friends riding it.
Can I scrape it?
Yeah, go for it.
That wasn't too bad.
You scraped it?
Yeah, but you have something on the bottom of it?
Yeah, exactly. So I
felt
have
that. Yeah, that's...
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, again, you can see how big it is there. But yeah, he liked the way that it handled. Much like I prefer the big pedals now that I have on my 18L as well. So it'd be cool. Hopefully the right people at Gotway see that and maybe they consider making pedals like that. Now, obviously, not everybody are going to need pedals that size, but for that to be an option, yeah, and if they can make it cost effective, I don't think $300 is cost effective. But if they can do it in a cost-effective manner, I think that's something that they would sell a lot of, especially over here in the West, without a doubt. Hunka, hey man, nice to see you, Hunka. Hunka says, do you know if Jason is planning on sending you the Gotway Nikola to try when it comes out? If he is, I have not heard anything about it. As far as I know, there isn't a time frame. Well, the only time frame I heard about the Nikola was supposedly like a release date in March somewhere. I don't know how firm of a date that is. If he is going to be getting one early, I would think that he would probably do something similar. I know that he's had some pretty good return on his investment by doing this game plan where you send it across the country to certain people. And I think he's been pleased with the videos and the traffic that it gets him. So I have not heard anything. But like when the 18XL happened, I don't know that Jason actually even told me up front. I think I heard somewhere else that they were doing this tour again, and I was on the list. So if they're doing it, I would expect him to send it to me. But if not, you know, whatever, we'll see. I'm always happy to chime in my opinion. It would be an interesting wheel, for sure. There's a lot of interesting things about it, and that's actually one of the things I have on my show notes to talk about. Brett says, has to be MSX. Yes, Brett is referring to the big pedals. That is an MSX, you're right. Hunka asks, how are my injuries healing up? My injuries are healing up well. The only thing, notice the horrible bruising on my hip is fading. The brush burn that I had on my back is just red now. It's not. I'm not going through those cycles where it gets all slimy and then it hardens and gets slimy and hardens. That's pretty much healed up. I still have a scab on my ankle. That's a little bit of a pain at times, but that's getting better. So yeah, all in all, I'm doing fine. You know, no problems. Like I said last week, though, when I was doing my ride on Immokalee Road again on the Dualtron, I was a little bit nervous there. It was I don't know. It was kind of weird. A couple times I just got a little bit of, I don't know. I after that fall, I guess it's normal, but I just had a little bit of hesitation. But I don't think it's gonna stop me from riding on that road. But it is gonna make me be laser focused on what's on the roadway ahead of me. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. Yes, Brett, those are called dragon pedals, I believe. And again, that was by Alien Rides. I want to give him proper attribution. Hunka asks, what are my opinions so far in the Nikola? I've talked about that on the show I did myself a few weeks ago, and then the next week Marty was on, and we talked about it some more. Marty's more gung-ho about it than I am. I think that it looks unique. I think it's cool that it's a brand new wheel. It's not an iteration on an existing model. You know, as you know, the M Super X is an iteration on the M Super. You know, it's on an ACM2. It's a totally new platform. The power drivetrain is very robust. It's the same powertrain, I guess, that's in the MSX. You know, a 2,000 watt motor. Similar battery capacity, although it looks like it has room for a much more battery in there. You can go up to 1,600 watt hours. But when I saw that teardown video that was on that Russian site, I mean that case is it's massive. It's unbelievable. Like when you put that next to the M Super X, which is a big wheel, it looks like a big wheel. The MSX looks kind of small next to the Nikola, even though the MSX is technically a bigger wheel. So I think it's cool. I like the aesthetics of it. I like the lights. I think the lights look cool. It kind of reminds me of a bastardized combination of aspects of an Inmotion wheel, aspects of a KingSong wheel. You know, it has the fold down handle of the Inmotion, which I questioned how wise it was to have it fold into the handle area, because the end result is the handle is so thick that unless you really work your grip strength to try to pick that up and carry it with one hand, it's going to be very, very difficult. Like, for example, if you're carrying it up steps or something like that. So I don't know if that was the best decision. It's the first Gotway wheel that has speakers built into it. Imagine that. So yeah, you can actually stream music. It looks like it's still saddled by the same shitty API that limits the functionality of the Gotway app. And of course, you still can't do things like any other modern manufacturer, like update the firmware on it via the app, which is so stupid. Again, it has the oversized tire, big fat tire. similar to the MSX. So it's going to be interesting. I know Marty says he's getting one. He wants to get one early. Actually, he wants to be an early adopter. So we will see. Again, it's interesting to me, but it's not like, oh, I gotta have that. It doesn't invoke that kind of reaction. But it'll be interesting to see how the community feels about it. I know in that teardown video, there's a lot of comments as they were getting to different spots. They were commenting on the quality of stuff in there and like how some stuff was kind of half-assed in the assembly process, which is standard for Gotway in a lot of ways. But maybe it was a prototype and they'll do a better job when they have production models out there. We'll see. Brett, you just gave you a like. I don't know if you gave me a like or someone else a like, but thanks, Brett. I'm glad you liked me or somebody else. I appreciate it. Justin says, speaking of video reviews or just videos in general, I just bought an Insta360 1X from their website. They sent it out from China. Again, I hate to lean on Marty so much, but Marty is very much in love with his Insta360. He had an Insta360, and now he has the Insta360 1X with its higher resolution. He's very, very pleased with it. I think it's interesting. It's an interesting perspective, and the way that it erases the selfie stick, and the way that you can, even though it's shooting 360 all the time, you can have the end product be a conventional video that you just control the pan, that you can pan anywhere in that 360-degree plane if you want. But it's weird. It doesn't really appeal to me personally. I can understand the appeal, but it doesn't appeal to me that much, which might be weird. But I actually have my eyes down the road on a Skydio R1 drone. I think that would be really, really cool. A drone that has all kinds of intelligence built into it to do auto follows and pans and circles and all that kind of stuff. So for some reason that appeals to me more, but it's a lot more money. Justin says, okay, so you're getting it right from China. Because I think you can get those from Amazon, I believe, as well, which obviously is much faster shipping. Maybe it's more expensive. Oh, okay, so you're thinking about getting it off of Amazon, yeah. Yeah, sometimes for me, even though you can get a better price from China, shipping can be such a crapshoot that it's almost worth it to me to pay, more money to get it in 2 days from Amazon, and if I have a problem with it, not get a lot of hassle to get it returned or replaced. So sometimes the extra money is worth the added hassle, or the lack of added hassle for me. So Hunka asks if I have any plans to get into VR. Have you guys tried it at a VR arcade? I think Katie and the family would really like it. Oculus Rift. I'm familiar with the Oculus Rift. I've done the Google Cardboard VR, where you basically put your phone in these glasses and it splits the view down the middle, so your left eye and right eye are working independently. And I don't know, you would think that it would appeal to me more. In those situations, the stuff I have tried, it kind of, and again, maybe it's my eyes, it wasn't as clear as I would think. But it is cool. But I don't know that it's cool enough, again, that I would spend the money. Although I know that the Oculus headsets have come down a ton. They used to be like $800, and now they might be $300 or so. So it's cool. So I don't know what I would do with it though. With the games that I play anymore, I'm not a console gamer. If I was, PlayStation has a very cool VR setup. With DJI, with drone flights, you can actually get DJI goggles that you strap on, and it gives you a pretty immersive view, and you can actually use it to do stuff like watch movies and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe, but it's definitely not at the top of my priority list right now. Yeah, Justin, I guess that like like what Justin's saying, those 360 videos, I guess, would be very cool in VR, which I'm sure, you could watch an Insta1 360 video with a VR headset, and that would be pretty cool. But to be honest, I mean, the whole way that Marty explained that you edit those things, it kind of sounds like a pain in the ass to me. Like, you do a lot of the editing on the phone itself, and the video stays on the phone, I guess. I don't know. It's probably not nearly as much of a hassle as I have it made up to be in my mind, but it just does not appeal to me right now. Doesn't mean it won't appeal to me later. I have definitely changed my mindset on various things over the years, so that might be one of them. And also the Insta1 360, it's sometimes I like to be a contrarian somewhat. It seems like everybody's getting one. Everyone has an Insta1 360, it seems like, so I kind of like to be like, okay, well, I'll do something different, I'm happy with my GoPro 7. I'm really happy with the way that's been working out. I love the built-in stabilization, picture quality. It's been a nice camera so far. I see Marty's face in the chat. He's there. Justin, drones are awesome, just not at a federal park, right? Yes. You've seen my drone video, how I got almost $1,000 fine for flying in Yellowstone National Park. When I flew in 2015, not knowing that drone flights in the park were banned, and I got nailed because I posted a video to YouTube that a park ranger spotted. He was bored one Christmas Eve and called me on Christmas Eve to let me know that I was in trouble.
Do you need a pee break?
No, you don't want you gonna shower?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be okay till you shower.
I don't know. I'm gonna be in pajamas.
Hmm?
I'm gonna be in pajamas.
Okay. All right. Well then, why don't you spell me now, and then I'll take one. I'll go now, and then you can shower.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a bathroom break quick. Cindy's gonna say hello. You can tell her how awesome she is. You gotta talk about your Vita video. I'm gonna link that.
Share the link? Okay.
I will.
Cool. So basically, why do I have headphones on?
You don't even need them, but
I know.
It does look cool.
Okie dokie. Hey.
I'm over there.
Hey, Honka. I think drones are cool. I was listening to that part there, though. I like the 360 idea. I think it's pretty cool, but he wasn't interested, so. Anybody there? No? Okay, well, Sean's peeing right now. Hope everybody's doing well. I've become a craft addict, and I've decided that I'm going to do 365 crafts this year. Not necessarily one a day, because some take me a couple days, but I have been working on 2 or 3 things at a time every day. I'm finding it to be my therapy. So nobody's talking to me right now. I must be doing something wrong. Maybe. Nobody wants to talk to me. Sean, nobody's talking to me. Unless, maybe, I gotta do something here. Oh. Oh, there we go. Do-do-do. I'm expecting it to scroll up by itself. Hi, Brett. Hi, Rocky Top. Oh, chat is delayed. Oh. Oh, mad at Sean for his fall? I think he's trying to kill me at an early age, trying to give you a heart attack. Yeah, because you'll just get injured because you're like Superman and you never die probably, and I'm just freaking gonna have a little heart attack worrying about you. This one was big, and I gave him a good yelling.
Yeah, but thank God I had all my gear on.
Thank God, though, he wears his gear, and it's funny because you were just talking about gear right before. Message retracted. Hunka, what did you say that you had to take
maybe
away?
Maybe something explicit.
Oh. Let's see. Any questions? Oh, CINDY, by the way, Justin. Thanks for all the options. I stuck with the boring CINDY. I I actually thought my name was Cinderella until I was in kindergarten and got called Cynthia for the first time. I was like, what the frig? Who is Cynthia? And the teacher was asking if she didn't, she called everybody's name. Clifford, howdy poop? That's not nice. But all right. Was it scary going 40 miles per hour? It was totally scary. But at the same time, it was exhilarating, which is part of it. That's why I had a motorcycle before. Huh? Hey, I have the same birthday as Evel Knievel, so what do you expect, you know?
Exactly.
Oh, Hunka Hunka's excuse is his iPhone 6 is going crazy. Touch disease problem. I do have positive energy. That's why Sean loves me. He's a realist. I'd like to think I'm a realist with an optimistic outlook.
Yeah.
You want to know what he's getting?
No.
Oh, good time for a squeak. If I tell, I can't. Oh, well, I bought the VR headset for him and for, I believe, Katie and Daniel one Christmas, and neither of them are nobody's using them, and I thought they were a cool concept, but I've got 2 VR things sitting in the, what do you do? Oh yeah, he used to juggle.
Do people know that I can juggle?
He can juggle. Oh man, he's awesome. You see? That's what got me. Juggling. And Katie is spelled Katie. Not that it matters, but I heard him say he fell and was bruised up. Clifford, you didn't see the video where he fell, and did you show pictures of your bruises? Did you show?
It's in the video.
It's in the video. He was scraped up. I dated a guy who rode motorcycles for a while back in the day, and he had an accident, and I actually had to clean him up from all the asphalt that was underneath his skin. He definitely had some stuff under his skin. He was black and blue until, I think, what, you're yellow now?
Yeah, yellow.
But I mean, it was disgusting. It was so bad. I couldn't, kick him in the butt for fun, Yeah, Clifford, it's gross. It's scary, but it should remind you. He has some skills, but it should remind you to wear your gear. I am a big safety person, but I've had my share of accidents and stuff. But I also believe in stopping at stop signs. I know Marty will disagree with me, but that's from my years of riding a bike. And then someone was asking if we see cyclists. We see cyclists all the time. They're not always in our lane, but we see them all over because Naples is full of cyclists, totally full of cyclists. Let's see what it. Sean is spelled S-H-A-W-N, but you can call him Duff. That's okay, and it's Duff with 1 F. But I'm being such a grammar.
Grammar, please.
All right, I had the cardboard one, and it doesn't compare to the. Oh, the cardboard one. Oh, yeah. The Oculus has gone down in price, though. But it's still, buy gear instead of that. I have the little one that was like supposedly. The one I still have was like
that uses a phone too.
It uses
it's like Google Cardboard. It's the same thing. You put the phone in it, and then there's an app you run to do it.
Yeah, but nobody tried it. Nobody really used it. So, yeah, you didn't like it. So, and I did like the idea of the 360 camera, but you don't. So, I like your drone. I think you should do more videos.
I don't dislike
Who
it.
agrees with me?
Just doesn't.
Yeah, the Dualtron's very fast. I do get a little scared on that, but I think Sean should shoot more videos with the drone following him. It's sabotage. Hope that wasn't sabotage. By who? Like, what was sabotage? The accident?
No.
What do you mean, Brett?
He's being funny.
Well, of course he's being funny. No, I love this man. He's my best friend. We're like, ebony and ivory. I don't know. This is so weird with this thing in your face here. Oh, you could see it.
Yeah, a little bit.
See, I got him that. So how's everybody doing? Ooh, 360 camera on a drone. Justin, you're a smart guy. Yeah, Def rides that route often, but I don't know. 4 people have died on that road in the last 4 months, 5 months. So we just lost 2 people last Sunday on that very same road. It's the people that drive around here this time of year. We're a seasonal town. It's horrible, and you're not protected. You have to be careful. So VR Arcade, do they actually have places to go?
Not around here.
I haven't heard of any in Naples. Maybe we should open one, and then we can retire. Yeah. I'm white. Okay. Me too. Okay. By the way, Cecilia that's watching is my Aunt Cecilia that I found because she's off because she's watching True Detective, which we'll watch tomorrow on the DVR or something like that. But she is my mother's half-sister, which we found because of Ancestry, the DNA stuff, so it's cool. You ready to come back? Yeah. You can relieve me at any time. Bye guys, have a good one. I got no makeup on and I'm DNA. On camera talking DNA because I don't know anything else about this. So, bye guys.
Thank you for
Did you pee well?
Thank you for the Cindy commercial.
What does that mean?
Huh? What do you mean? Because it's nice when you're.
Give me a kiss.
Everyone likes when you stop in.
Okay, bye.
All right, guys. Hello. All right. Now Marty's gonna be pissed because I have to go back here and just skim through the comments if there's anything that I need to pay attention to here. Lunar eclipse starts at 9:31 Eastern Standard Time. Really? I didn't even know there was a lunar eclipse tonight.
A what?
There's a lunar eclipse tonight at 9:31.
Yeah, I've been telling you.
You did?
The blood moon and the lunar eclipse?
I remember the blood moon, but not the lunar eclipse. All right, well, I'll try to make sure the stream is done by then so we can go see it, I guess. Marty's talking about the Insta360 One X best action camera. Yep. And Marty says that the editing is super easy. I'll take your word for it, Marty. Still don't need one though. Just watch your mountain climb video, blah blah blah. Osmo Pocket. Clifford talks about the Osmo Pocket. Yeah, I thought that was announced like just after I got my GoPro 7, and it does seem like a very cool device. Although I think for the way that I shoot, the GoPro 7 actually works a little bit better, but the Osmo Pocket is nice, and for the money, it's actually less than a GoPro 7 Black. It's nice. Chat is delayed. Yes, it is. Okay. All right, now we're talking about Cindy stuff. Oh, I did hear someone mention about my my mystery vehicle, my new mystery vehicle that's supposed to be coming. It's not here yet. The people that I ordered it from seem to underestimate how long U.S. Customs takes. So it is, as far as you know, it has not hit the United States yet, at least according to the tracking that I have. So originally they had said something about that I would have gotten it this week, but no, that did not happen. I'm not sure that I'll get it next week. Who knows? Once it hits the United States, it should be about 5 days. So you're gonna have to wait and see. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Fast gaming PCs. Yeah, Hunka, that's one of the things with like an Oculus is, you need a very, very robust PC to run it well. My PC is, I mean, nowadays it's 4 years old probably, so it's nowhere near top of the line, even though I did replace the video card not too long ago, a few months ago. So it's okay. You could probably run the Rift stuff okay, but not as good as a brand new PC. Okay, so I think I have caught up. Good. Oh, talking about the mystery vehicle. One thing that I find myself interested in, and I guess they've been doing a social media blitz lately, is the Leaf board. I don't know how many of you have ever seen a Leaf, L-E-I-F. If you've ever, okay, I'm publishing my M Super axle tightening video now, so if you're bored with the stream, you can always go and look at my M Super video now. I just posted it. But anyways, the leaf board. Let me see if I can pull that up quickly. Skateboarders here will be familiar with it. People that are just EUC guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you see the way that this thing goes and the way you ride it, it's pretty damn crazy. Let's see. All right, yeah. Okay, do this. Bear with me. I'm going to load their site, and you should be able to see what I'm talking about. It looks just like a regular electric skateboard at first glance. Okay. Let's blow this up. All right. So there it is. Okay, so you look at it and you're like, oh, well, all right, we've got some foot holder things there. It's kind of weird, right? Just keep scrolling and scrolling. All right, well, look, they're jumping it. They're having fun. Looks like a fun thing. But then you get down here, and then you're like, what? What the hell? Yeah, and let's see if you can see more of it down here. Okay, on the homepage you can't see more, but basically you slide this thing around turns. You can do 360s on it, and the way it happens is it's not clear at first when you look at it, because it looks like a skateboard. And you're like, well, how is it doing that? Basically, under here there are two wheels underneath that they turn on a 360-degree radius, so they can spin all the way around. And it allows you to do these crazy moves on the board. And it looks cool. It looks really, really cool. And seeing all of the videos and ads on social media, it's piqued my interest, I have to be honest. But, you know, I have a mystery vehicle on the way. I obviously cannot be buying a Leaf Tech board right now. But that might be something that happens in 2019. They are expensive. They're as expensive as a boosted board. I believe the one I saw, they are running some specials right now where they do stuff like throw in a spare battery. I think they have a promo right now, which is like a $260 value, but the board itself is somewhere in their neighborhood. Yeah, right here. It's up top here. The board itself is like $1,500, I think. Yeah, more than $1,500. So they have different lengths. Different lengths of the board, 82, 87, or 77. I guess taller guys, they recommend that you have a longer board, but you can see up from this angle here, you can see the wheels in the center, which actually do the majority of the work. So it seems like a crazy concept, and if you watch some videos of people doing it, it looks crazy fun. But I'm sure it's very difficult, and I just question my ability to do it, but I just thought it'd be cool. If you've never seen one of those, the first time you watch one of those videos, it's very interesting, at least to me. Okay, super blood red wolf moon. Yes, okay. Lunar eclipse lasts several hours. It is not a full eclipse until 11:41. Okay, so I do have some time, Rocky. I don't have to run out right at 9:30 to see it. Okay. Traffic is better since the shutdown. Okay. Oh, you're talking about traffic in general since the federal shutdown? I don't know. Is it? Is it better? I haven't really noticed it down here. William, yeah. So William, have you seen the leaf board before? Yeah, it's totally snowboarding. Like they say that a one wheel is snowboarding on dry ground. No, the leaf board is snowboarding on dry ground. With the caveat that you better be on smooth surfaces. I don't think it's going to work very well off road or in the grass. But man, it's crazy. You're slide stopping a skateboard. It's super cool. Super cool. Well, I don't know. One wheel is more like skiing to you. Well, I would say some people say that actually riding EUCs is more like skiing because your feet are in a similar position to skiing. A one wheel with the side stance, I don't know that it's like skiing. I don't know. I've never skied enough to really make that statement. I guess I skied once and was terrible at it and almost took out a whole line of people waiting to get on the ski lift. So I don't have a lot of skiing experience. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay. So you didn't mean to say AUC. Okay. Yeah, Hunka, that does look like an accident waiting to happen. You can ride it without those foot supports, and they actually recommend that when you start learning, to do the side sliding movement, that you do it without the foot supports, just for that very reason. So you have the ability to exit the board cleanly. So I don't know. It's a cool thing. Cool thing. All right. So let me get through here. I want to try to keep the stream more reasonable time wise here. Okay, this is one thing that I saw myself, and Marty also sent this to me. Ian, I guess, had a face plant at 12 miles an hour. I'm not sure exactly when this happened, but he had no gear on, and his wrists were causing him problems for 5 months after, and I guess he showed this on his stream. Let's see if I can get this to come up here. It looked bad, and it was just an exclamation point on, some people say, okay, you're going slow, I'm going slow, how bad can I get hurt? Well, you can still get badly hurt, and if you just look at this fall, it's a good example of what can happen.
Is it all overexposed? Okay, are you ready?
All right, there we go. So he has it on his phone. I don't know if he has this on his security camera or what, but here you go.
Action. Boom! There is Ian Sampson smashing into the ground and sitting there for a little while. Want to watch it again? One more time. Boom! Bouncy, bouncy. That was very enjoyable.
In classic Ian style. So yeah, that looked bad. And I guess there was like a failure in that wheel. Something it cut out. I don't know what the details of the problem was, but something failed on the wheel that caused it to dump him like that. And obviously he was not expecting it, and he took a beating. So if you haven't gotten out of this live stream that I think wearing safety gear is important, there's another example of why. Okay, Hunka, yes, Hunka referring to the leaf board. Yes, that is pricey. That's the first thing that popped into my head. It is pricey, but I don't know. The one wheel's even more. And as much as the one wheel is, I think it's worth it. Just the experience on it is unique and fun, and I love that thing. So I don't know if I feel the same way about a leaf board or not, but if I could ride it like that, I probably would, because that just looks like so much fun. So much fun. Hunka says you have a ripstick board. Ripstick, aren't those the things that you just kind of fishtail back and forth on? Let me see. Look it up. Ripstick. Yeah, you just kind of swivel back and forth on them. Yeah, I've seen videos of people riding those. Didn't appeal to me. Looks dangerous. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I talked about my dragon pedals. We talked about Ian's face plant. We talked about no mystery vehicle. Oh, okay, here's someone asked about the Nikola. I think Hunka asked about the Nikola and my feelings on it. This week, or sometime in the last 2 weeks, Jane Moe from Gotway posted this on Facebook. A promotional video for the Nikola. So let's take a look at that. I don't want to log in. Do you really have to log in to... Oh man, you have to log in to do this? Really? Okay, well I'm not going to do that. Don't want to log in. I'm not even sure of my Facebook. I use LastPass for my password manager, and so my passwords are stored there, and I have so many passwords that I don't necessarily remember them all, so that's a good and a bad thing. Although, let's see, I did have something else here from that video. Where is it? bear with me. I saw the video, and then at the end of the video, they had, where did I put that? They had the specs flash up on the screen. Shit, where did I put it? I'm not sure where I put it. Maybe here. Just bear with me 1 second. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is at the end of the video. My point with the video is it was a, you know, kind of like a more upscale video than we're used to out of Gotway. It almost looked like it reminded me somewhat of the video that Segway did or Ninebot did when they introduced the Z10. More stylized, more modern. A lot of night riding, a lot of cinematic stuff, drone shots. It's a pretty well done video, especially for Gotway. But at the end here, you know, they did pop the specs up. Safe speed of 20 kilometers an hour. Wow. Max load 130 kilograms. All right. So it's about a 300 pounder. Motor power 2,000 watts, like the MSX. Same battery configurations. Max speed. Thought that was interesting, huh? Although they spelled speed wrong. Max speed of 50 kilometers an hour. Really? So only 31 miles an hour, roughly. I wonder if that's just, if that is literally the top speed, or that's just the advertised top speed. 3-inch tire, big fat tire, and yeah. So I thought that video was interesting. I wish I could have loaded it more easily. I wonder if it's probably on their YouTube channel. Let me just see if I can find it quick. Maybe. Let's see. Gotway. Just bear with me. Just want to see if I can easily find that video. That's. Yeah, search on YouTube. I do not see it. But anyways, if you're in this stream, you've probably seen that video. But I just thought it was kind of interesting that Gotway is trying to up their production quality of their promotional videos. It made the wheel look attractive. It was pretty well done, I thought. So Hunka says that was a control board failure. Hunka, what kind of wheel was he riding? I missed that part of it. What wheel it was that he was riding? Was it a Gotway? Was it a Inmotion? What was that? $333NG. I had a bad crash just standing still. Luckily, it was wearing protection. My video of that crash, one of the best videos on Speedy Feet. Oh, you won the EUC stand? Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, he's still 3D printing those EUC stands, and I'm not sure how many he's selling, but I know he has at least 3 printers, so I think he's selling a decent amount of them. That's good. Yeah, that was a pretty bad crash, but those are the worst ones when you're not expecting it. It reminds me of what happened, you know, with my crash on the backfire. You know, you have no time to prepare. You're just down, and those are scary. I can attest to that. Okay, on the skateboard front, Daniel Kwan, who I like, I'm a subscriber to his channel. He's into e-skateboards. He posted his official Backfire Ranger X1 review, the all-terrain board, which I have, which I've talked about before. I've done various videos on, and that's the board that's what I wiped out on when I had my crash. And he actually got he has some sort of deal, I guess, with Backfire. He actually got some boards early and rode them across a large section of China. He has like a big video series on that. That's how I found him. But he does a good job with his videos. Let's see if I can get this to load up. Can I do it? All right.
only have the Backfire Ranger. Many people thought I had one before, but the one that I used for shooting Backfire's advertisement was a prototype, and I had to return that one to Backfire after a few days. The one that I used for the road trip was also a prototype, and that one also had to be returned to Backfire. The one that I have now is the final product, and it's actually mine. I don't have to give this one back. I don't know why this one took so long to get to me. I was supposed to get it when the range...
Okay, so that's Daniel Kwan, again, giving proper attribution. And anyways, like I said, he got the Backfire prototype early and did that road trip on it, but he didn't really... I wouldn't say he did, like he said there, he didn't do like an official review. Since then, he's actually bought one, and he has one, and he did an official review. And it was kind of interesting. He broke down the things that he likes and the things that he did not like so much. Things that he liked the deck a lot, which I agree. The deck, I think, is very, very comfortable to ride. Has good give to it. It just feels good. He likes the length of the board. Again, with someone that's taller like me, I like a longer board with my very long legs, so I think the length of the board is nice. The turning radius he thought was good for considering how wide the wheelbase is. The double kingpin trucks give it a decent turning range. As far as the range of the battery, the range is average to above average in his range test. Like it's weird. He did a range test and he got down to the battery indicator on the Backfire is 4 lights, and he got down to 1 light quickly, much quicker than you would think. But then the thing ran forever, showing only 1 light on the battery indicator. It ran forever. I can't remember how much. What did he get? 20K? Maybe more than 20K. And he actually just quit because he was freezing. It was very, very cold that day he did his range test. So it's a little confusing, because if you are monitoring the battery life closely and you're seeing that you lost your first 3 bars of battery quickly, you're like, oh, this range sucks. But actually, it seems like for whatever reason, it runs forever on that last bar of battery. So it's kind of weird. I never pushed mine that far, but I need to do that. I want to do a max range test on the Ranger. As far as dislikes, the wheels, which is a common complaint. You know, the weight of the wheels is crazy. 3 pounds per wheel, which is just, it's crazy heavy. And of course, he had the same tire noise that everybody else has with the Ranger X1. Still cannot believe that they did not think that was more of a problem than it is. He did mention in the video that he heard that they are supposed to be coming out with new tires for the Ranger X1. I do not know if that's retroactive, that people that already have one are going to get them. My guess is no, probably not. He questioned the water resistance of the design. He doesn't think that it's sealed as good as they advertise, because they make it seem like it's very water resistant, having lots of their ads having it running through all sorts of wet conditions. But his experience has been that the enclosures for the battery and speed controller are not as water resistant as they should be. And he also commented how the fact that the board only has 2 speed modes, like my Meepo, for example, has 4 speed modes: beginner, eco, expert, and pro, or something like that. Each one noticeably more strong than the other. The Ranger only has 2, basically slow and fast. And he commented that it feels like there should be a 3rd mode in there somewhere. Like the fast mode kind of feels like it is in between, and it feels like there should be something above that. Because I've commented how, although we'll get up to around 20 miles an hour, it does it on a very gradual scale compared to the Meepo, which is like kind of like hold on to your hat, and it's going to get you there a lot faster. So that was a very valid criticism as far as I'm concerned. He also did have the new remote. They came out with a new remote, Backfire did. One of the things I complained about with the Backfire is that there's no battery indicator on the board itself. The only way you can see the battery is by hitting a button on the remote, and then it shows you the battery life. He has an updated remote that has an LED display built into the remote, You can buy it for any, well, not any of the boards, but it does work with the Ranger X1. But it has stuff like trip time, trip distance, battery level in a digital readout. So you can get those features in that remote, but it's like $80, I believe. You can get it off the Backfire site directly for $80, so it's not cheap. So anyways, I thought that was an interesting review. If you're looking for information about the Ranger X1, you might want to check out Daniel Kwan's channel. All right, let's see. Dan the man. Oh, so Brett is familiar with Dan, I guess. Yeah, Dan lives in China, I assume, but he speaks very good English. He almost seems like he's an American first. I don't know what his background is, but yeah, I like watching Dan. He's good. Hunka says several people in China ride with an additional external battery pack. Yeah, I have seen that. I think the people in the United States do that as well. But personally, I don't ride an electric skateboard long enough that I would want to carry a backpack or an additional battery in a backpack. I don't really have the need. Okay. Not sure. Oh, okay. So Hunka's answering regarding the wheel that Ian crashed on. He assumed it was a Gotway, maybe an M Super. Yeah, I couldn't really tell from that video. It was, it was small. It was black and white. It was quick, so I'm not really sure what it was. Carl Levertu. I don't know that I've ever seen you in the stream before, Carl, but welcome. I'm planning to make a 2 kilowatt-hour external battery pack. A 2 kilowatt external battery pack for what? For an e-skateboard or for what? What are you talking about? 333NG. Duff. Can you or anyone else please tell me why do or would you buy a Gotway when all I hear is crap app? It does have a crap app. But I wouldn't say that any of the EUC apps are fantastic, to be honest with you. Probably this, yeah, I would say the Ninebot Segway app is probably the best. But anyways, Gotways have crap apps, poor build quality. Build quality is poor compared to other major manufacturers, but it is definitely improving in my opinion. I think they are definitely taking steps to make it better. Breakdowns. I don't know that a Gotway wheel necessarily breaks down more than anything else. There's a very famous post that Jason from eWheels posted about the Z10. How his batch of 100, he had a 10% failure in his initial batch of Z10s. So I don't know that failures are all that unique to Gotways. I think anytime that you have a failure, it's going to be a vocal minority. You're going to hear a lot about those failures and a lot less from people that don't have any problems. I've had Gotway wheels now for 3 years, and I've never had one outright fail on me. I'm trying to think. I've had flat tires, which has nothing to do with the wheel. I never had a board pop. Yeah, I haven't had a mechanical failure with my Gotway, to be honest with you. So it may be a little bit overblown. Now there is definitely quality control issues with Gotway, and their theory on what they give to the customer is definitely different than KingSong or Segway or Inmotion, where those three companies put more of a priority on making sure that the user or the customer is safe, whether they want to be or not, where they have more aggressive throttling of speed based on battery level, whereas Gotway wheels will typically let you bypass those safety standards to a large degree. So it allows you to go faster on the top end, allows you to push deeper into the battery pack at faster speed. So some people are more interested in doing that, so they are okay with the trade-off, So yeah, so many people have had to change the board as it breaks. Yeah, I don't know that I've heard a lot recently of Gotway boards breaking. I have, especially in the modern wheels that they're selling. Like, I haven't heard of people popping their MSX boards. I think the only time I've heard that is when Matthias intentionally blew his by just working it to death. But I have not heard of that happening a lot on the MSXs and Same thing with the Monsters. I don't know that I've heard that a lot on the Monsters or the MCM5s. So, I mean, you may be hearing or seeing some older stuff. I don't know that that's quite as prevalent as you may think it is anymore. So you continue 333 and G. So why not buy KingSong Inmotion, who have better reliability than Gotway does? Well, again, I think I just answered that. It's basically what is more important to you. Some people they are willing to trade some safety for more performance, and if that's your thing, that's fine. My only thing to you would be to strongly recommend that you wear adequate safety gear. If that is going to be your primary goal, is to go fast, as fast as possible, gear up. And a lot of people do, a lot of people do not. Oh, and Hunka's comment is the Gotways go faster, longer, and have many different models to choose from. Yeah, well, I mean, that's one thing Gotway does do, is they put out the models faster than anybody. They are able, whatever, I don't know if it's because they're smaller or whatever their manufacturing process is, but they have the ability to turn things over quickly, much quicker than KingSong, Inmotion, or Segway Ninebot for sure. There's no doubt about that. Shyam Krishnan asks, do you prefer or not prefer the one wheel over EUC? Is it easy to carry around? I've answered this in some videos and comments. I get asked it quite a bit. Again, the answer is it depends. It depends on what you're looking for. To me, the fun level of riding a one wheel is more for me than riding an EUC. I think the one wheel is more fun for me to ride. The riding style is more engaging. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to describe until you ride one, is what I would say. But as far as like if I was commuting, if I want to get somewhere quickly, if I want to go in more aggressive terrain, if I have to go far, and if I've got to go fast, an EUC smokes a one wheel. It's because of the bigger tire, it can handle rougher terrain. I can go much faster. So it all depends what your priority is. As far as carrying a one wheel, no, a one wheel is not easy to carry. That's another thing. Like if you were in a situation where you're riding, say you're riding to catch mass transit, to get on a train or something, a EUC typically is much more easy to move in and out of those situations with a trolley handle, or if it's light, if it's a smaller EUC, just to pick it up and carry it onto a bus or a train. That's much more doable on an EUC than a one wheel. A one wheel there is no comfortable way to carry a one wheel around. Not that I found. You can get a handle mount, so you can attach it to the side of the frame and just kind of carry it like an oversized suitcase. But it's still it's not a good solution. Definitely not. Hunka says the V10F was a bit of a disaster. Yes, they did have some very negative press with that wheel. Although I have heard a lot of people that like them quite a bit. So I don't think that they're terrible. Brett says that he thinks Gotway wheels are easier to fix. Well, I don't know. I've never had to rip into any wheel other than my Gotway wheels, so I don't have that experience to compare it to. I wouldn't say they're that hard, obviously. Again, if you see the video I just posted today, I tore it down all the way to the bare motor to tighten the axle nuts, which is one thing I ranted about in the video, that it drives me nuts that Gotway uses such a terrible design that it actually requires you to have to tighten the axle nuts periodically. And to do so is quite laborious. Let's see, Rocky Top. Rocky Top was referring to the video where the V10F catches on fire. I know like the battery pack caught on fire. I don't remember the circumstances of why it happened. And they did have issues with waterproofing. I guess the wheels were not waterproofed correctly. A bunch of the early models were not waterproofed correctly, and the end result was water getting into the case. And in certain situations, it could contaminate the battery pack, which in turn could cause short and problems. So yeah, I guess that was all related. Future Motion should make an EUC, Brett says. Well, I think they got their hands full with the one wheel. It's funny, like as much as I love the one wheel, and as much as there is a cult following about the one wheel, if you look at the one wheel forums on Facebook, there's a lot of griping about Future Motion as well. And some of it's justified. Like their customer support is not great. I think it's very hypocritical that they advertise the board, riding through water and being in all these wet conditions. Yet if you ride through a puddle, and some of that water gets into the electronics, they will void your warranty and charge you a lot of money to fix your one wheel. So yeah, there's some aspects of their support that is not great, but the one wheel following is very, very devoted. Now, I know people that have 3 one wheels. It's crazy. They want spares because they don't want to ever be without one, so they have multiple one wheels. Of course, I do have a few vehicles myself, so I shouldn't talk. Hunka Hunka wants to see a Dualtron Mini Motors and Gotway collab wheel. Oh God. Dualtron's doing a good enough job themselves. I forgot to put this video in my show notes, but there was a video. Someone in France posted a video of somebody on a Dualtron Thunder on a 3-lane highway, and the guy shot his speedometer. He was going 80 kilometers an hour, riding right next to a Dualtron Thunder. The guy was standing while he was riding, so 80 kilometers an hour is something like 53, 54 miles an hour. And this guy's just, cruising along. And I guess the point of the video was a negative. The guy was pissed off that the guy was on a highway on this scooter. And although I didn't translate the text, the gist of it was he was pushing for scooters to be speed limited, not to be able to go that fast. So yeah, Dualtron doesn't really need any help from Gotway when it comes to going fast. It's insane. And they have another one coming out called the Dualtron X, I believe, which is even crazier. It's amazing. But I mean, you're spending the same money as you would for like a small car, like a small used car in some cases. So it's the line starts to blur as you go up the scooter line. 33NG asked me, will I continue to buy Gotway in the future over other brands? Well, no. I mean, the last wheel I bought was my KingSong 18XL. The last Gotway wheel that I bought was an M10-3, which I continue to say that anyone that has more than one EUC, an M10-3 should be one of those 2 EUCs. Take my word for it. But no, I don't. I'm not a huge Gotway fanboy, but I'm not a Gotway hater either. I buy what I want to buy, but one of the reasons I got the KingSong was because I did want to broaden my horizons. Because up until that point, I had Segway wheels, I had the Ninebot, I had Gotways. Obviously, I had an Inmotion V5F, and so I wanted to try out a KingSong wheel. So, and I'm glad I did. It's a really good wheel. I like it a lot. Carl asks, do you know where to buy a 16-inch 2.5 tire with stud for running in winter? Carl, I do not know that. My first answer for everything is Amazon. They might have it. They have almost everything. I would check out Amazon. Shyam asks, V10 and V10F, both bad. Again, the early models, well, the V10F came out first. I don't know that the V10 had the same issues as the V10F. The V10 is basically a V10F with a smaller battery. So, but I mean, if you're getting one now, I don't think you have the same concerns as if you had the first batch. I believe all those problems have been sorted out. If I'm correct. Hey Clay, what's up, man? I'm winding it down here, but I'm glad you could stop in. Justin says, unless I need distance, I wouldn't trade my Z10 for anything. But Ninebot seems to have dropped the ball when it comes to support. Yeah, Justin, I have heard the same thing. I've heard some horror stories about people trying to get their Z10 serviced like if they're one of those unlucky 10% that had a bad board, that's crazy to me. I mean, that's the way that you turn people off to your brand permanently when you don't service them when they have a legitimate problem. So that's too bad. It's another advantage of dealing with someone like eWheels, because Jason will fight that fight for you. He has a lot of leverage. Well, I don't know if let's just say he has more leverage than you or I would, because he deals in bulk and stuff. So that is one of the advantages of buying from a trustworthy dealer as opposed to buying from a third party or direct from China. You're kind of rolling the dice in those situations. Brett, your M103 is on the charger. Yes, I told you that thing's awesome, Brett. It's awesome. All right, so the only other thing that I have on my my show notes is I had one comment on my YouTube video that I said I was going to answer and bring up here on the stream. It was from a user called Choo Choo Train. He saw this was based on my Ranger X1 video. He said that he did not know that I had so many different types of PEVs. He said risk is price of admission for our thrills. I agree. After 6 months of nearly daily WowGo 2S riding, I'm past. He's a e-skateboard guy. I'm past the show-off period and my speed is tempered. On an often traveled 5-mile route, I only take it up to full speed on the 4 sections I know that provide a long stretch of pristine asphalt. Then he asks, with having so much experience riding different PEVs, what improvements would you make to skateboards, unicycles, and scooters, and why did you end up with so many PEVs? Well, the first part of the question, improvements-wise, I mean, the answer is usually the same, no matter what you're talking about. Increased power, reliability, safety. Those are the standard things. Visual styling is cool. Lower cost. That's a pretty much boilerplate answer, I guess I would give for anything in that genre. I mean, there's a limit to me as far as what is necessary speed-wise. I don't need a scooter that goes 53 miles an hour, but some people do, I guess. And to the second question, why did you end up with so many PEVs? That's a good question. I don't really have a solid answer. The first 2 years, I started with a Segway Mini Pro and then quickly got a Ninebot 1E Plus after that. And then for like 2 years, it was nothing but EUCs. I just rode EUCs. I had at 1.6 of them. And that was all that I really was interested in, even though there was, and now is even more so, a whole other arena of electric rideables out there. And the first other thing that got me going outside of the EUC realm was the one wheel. And it's weird because back when I was considering what to buy originally in EUC, I did look at one wheels, and Cindy even mentioned the one wheel, but at that time they did not have the XR model. They only had the Plus model, which had very limited range of like 5 to 7 miles, something like that. And that, to me, that seemed too limiting. So that's why I said, and I had no board experience or whatever. So that's what pushed me away from there. But then once I dipped my toe into the one wheel world, for whatever reason, that just got me looking at other things. I can't really give you a logical explanation of why that is, but it got me looking at e-skateboards. And I believe, was it Rocky Top? Somebody actually on my stream, or one of the comments in my YouTube channel, mentioned the Meepo, the electric skateboard, and that is actually what put Meepo on my radar as far as something that might be interesting, because he had a Meepo and he liked it, and he was telling me that he thought it might be something I'd be interested in. So that's what got me started in electric skateboards. And then the Ranger X1 got my attention because someone again mentioned it in a comment on a video, and I looked at it and I thought the idea of having an electric skateboard that had bigger tires and the ability to be not as restricted to terrain would be cool. And then the scooter, the Dualtron scooter, was a byproduct of me being able to sell the Segway, the original Segway that I had, X1, And then I funded most of the cost of the Dualtron scooter, because those Dualtron scooters are expensive. You know, we got the more or less the entry level Dualtron dual motor scooter, and it was $2,200, I believe. But the main reason I got that is for Cindy, because you know I enjoy when Cindy rides with me, and you know, even though she can ride an EUC, it's not the most comfortable thing for her to ride, and she feels shaky on it. She doesn't feel that safe on it. She likes riding the Mini Pro, but that is very distance and speed limited compared to my high-end EUCs, and her feet would hurt a lot when she was riding that for a prolonged period of time. So the Dualtron to me was my hope to have a vehicle that she could ride with me for long distances, and you know, at speeds that I can go at on my higher EUCs. And I feel very fortunate that it seems to be exactly that. It's, you know, speed-wise, she's faster than me. If you've seen my videos, obviously half the time she's, you know, 100 yards ahead of me because I can't keep up with her comfortably, or I don't feel comfortable going that speed. And the ability for her to sit and stand helps with her foot pain, and the throttle control having a cruise control function where you can basically just hold it for 7 seconds and it will lock in that speed is something that was very comfortable for her as well. So, because at first she thought the electric skateboards would be a great thing for her, but her hands are kind of weak and she has some hand pain, and working the remote, the remote was kind of uncomfortable for her, so that kind of made that option not as feasible as I thought it would be. So anyways, the Dualtron scooter seems to be really good for that. She's rented obviously a lot more than I do, but I did ride it last weekend, and it is a lot of fun. A lot different experience than riding any of my other wheels. It's not quite as engaging, but just the raw power, and you feel like you're driving a real legitimate vehicle when you're riding the Dualtron. So yeah. So yeah, leaf board and whatever my other mystery vehicle will be, that will be adding to the story. But I think I probably do need to sell something. I need to make some space. Brett's okay. So Brett says e-wheels is legit. Shyam Krishnan says, if you have to choose one EUC for commute which is reliable, what would it be? Well, that answer depends on how long your commute is, and I guess how fast you want to go on the commute. The KingSong wheels, whether you're going with an 18XL or a 16S or even the 14 series, I think they're great commuter wheels. They have, you know, plenty of power, plenty of speed, they're reliable, and they have a superior trolley design, in my opinion, that makes them easy to wheel along under their own power. So I would think that would probably be a good choice. A lot of the Gotway wheels do have trolleys, like the M Super has a trolley, but it's like in the back of it, and it's kind of awkward. It's, if you're not concentrating on what you're doing, it can kind of get away from you kind of easily. It's not the best trolley design. An Inmotion wheel also. An Inmotion wheel would be a fine commuter. V5F, the V10, V10F. But again, it depends on what you're looking for, speed and range wise. You know, I love my Monster for long speed commuting. You know, it's obviously would not be a great commuter with it being 60 pounds and no trolley handle. But man, that thing is fun for gobbling up long distances in a short amount of time. It's a very comfortable wheel to cruise on. So, okay guys, I'm almost at the 2 hour mark, even though I was trying to hurry things up. But I do want to go out and take a look at that moon. Gadget fan, I did not say I'm getting a LeafTech board, but I did say that I am looking at them. I find it very interesting, and if I could learn to do the 360 moves that you can on a LeafTech, that would be pretty awesome. So we'll see. It's on my radar. So sometimes things that are on my radar fade away. Sometimes they get very close very quickly. So we will see. We'll see what happens. So anyways, guys, I want to thank you for stopping by, and look for our next stream coming up in 2 weeks, which would be, let's see, what would that be, the 3rd, February 3rd, it looks like. Unless something comes up before then, I will be sure to let you guys know. And Gadget fan, you have a LeafTech board in your shopping cart? Oh, you're going to take advantage of that free extra battery pack, $269 value? Good for you. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have 10 other PEVs sitting in my hobby room right now, I might I might be pulling the trigger as well, but yeah, not right now. Yeah, $100 off too. But they also have the there's a code that you can enter that you get a free battery pack, I believe, in addition to the $100 off. Okay, so anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by, and that's it for now. Look for the podcast tomorrow, and I will catch you then. Till next time, if I can find my button. Where are we? Till next time, Duffman out.